Which JSE listed companies can I invest into for 10 years without actually buying any other company? That is a question I got on my Facebook page, and I was like, let me actually make it a podcast episode. Let me make my answer to a question a podcast episode, and let me expand into it by talking about my top 3 JSE listed companies I can invest into for 10 years without investing to any other company, and also my top 3 JSE listed ETF I can invest into for 10 years while investing into any other ETF. So that's the topic of today's episode. Without wasting any time, let's jump right straight into it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ivan Sambo. Welcome to the Student Investor Podcast with myself, as I said, Ivan Sambo. Brand new setup, brand new location. I hope you enjoy the setup. I hope the audio as well is good because I'm struggling with my audio for the longest time possible. Today, as I said in the intro, I am talking about top 3 JSE listed individual companies I can invest into for 10 years without investing to any other company, and also covering my JSE top 3 ETF I can invest into while investing to any other ETF. Let's start with my top 3 individual companies I can invest into for 10 years without investing with any other company. At the number 1 spot, I have the only company that makes sense to be number 1, which is ShopRite. Why ShopRite? ShopRite provides services that will be needed and still be needed in the next 10 years, which is food. Not only that, but the division of how they target their market. There's ShopRite Usave, there's ShopRite, there's Checkers. There's a lot of other things under the ShopRite group, and I believe ShopRite as a brand, as a company, it targets all the economic class, from the lower class to the upper class. It has customers there, and that's so beautiful. And not only that, but at the same time, when you look at the location of ShopRite stores, they're located in all the areas. There's no place, the poor rural areas, there's a ShopRite Usave there. You go to the rich areas, there's Checkers there. And for me, we're also looking into the segment, looking into the other segment, the liquor shops, the financial services they're offering, looking into the other brands that belong to ShopRite. I see it as a company that I can invest into this year and still make money 10 years later on it. So that's why I'm picking it as my number 1. At my number 2, I have the cult of all cult. I am talking about Discovery, the only brand from South Africa that has a cult-like following. And when you look at that following in an economic point of view, in a business point of view, in an investment point of view, it is beautiful. I like it. The way Discovery designed itself, their product, to be an ecosystem that influence lifestyle, and their client to be so much in love with it, in the manner they can wake up at 4 a.m. to go get Discovery Point, that they can change where they shop, where they refuel, where they gym. Like, Discovery has built so much of a brand of itself that it becomes a cult-like, and that's beautiful for me. I know using the word cult may be seen negative, but I like it because I think in the next 10 years it will still be relevant. Discovery will still be relevant. You look into how they integrated their banking, life policy, car insurance, medical aid, banks, Vitality, how it's all integrated into one beautiful ecosystem that influences lifestyle of people, not just lower class, middle class. I'm talking about CEOs of big companies influenced by Discovery. And for me, that system alone, that reason alone, I'm saying Discovery being a good company to hold for 10 years, and that's why I will put it my number 2. My number 3 may be controversial, but I'm gonna go with Exxaro, a mining company. Number 1, dividends, sharp. Trying to follow the eco-friendly green regulation. Trying, I said try, and said they are. I'm saying they're trying, love it. Trying to ensure that their workers are taken care of. I said try, and say they're doing well. I said trying, I like it. looking at what they're mining, the mining products are very good, needed. There's a demand for it throughout the world, and I like that as well. So I'm gonna put Exaro as my number 3 company. When you go into ETF, now do I have given you guys my top 3 individual companies I can hold for 10 years, which is Discovery, ShopRite, as well as Exaro. Going to the ETF side, my answer there is very simple. I'm trying to capture the market I couldn't capture with the 3 companies I have. So at number 1, I am going with the Satric top 40 ETF. I'm going at ETF as my top 3 ETF I can invest into for the longest time, for 10 years without buying any other ETF. My number 1 is a Satric top 40 ETF. I love it because it gives me exposure to the rest of the top 40 biggest companies in the JSE. I can still benefit from their performance for the next 10 years without actually holding individual companies of those companies that are in the top 40 ETF as well. I love the way ETF of Satrics are being balanced, managed, and controlled. That means less fees to be paid by me, as well as Satrix is a very reputable, loved brand in the ETF space. At number 2, I am moving away a little bit from Satrix. I am going to the One Invest SA Property ETF. I love the SA Property ETF, but more specifically, I love the One Invest One. Very well managed and controlled, and yes, a little bit too much fees, but I like it. I've been holding it for a while, so I'll pick it to hold as well for the next 10 years. I know for the past 5 years, the property market of South Africa has been horrible. I'm aware of that. But if you zoom out a little bit more, look at the past 10 years, the past 15 years, the past 20 years, the property market has been performing very well. So I would not mind holding a property ETF for 10 years. Not even I won't mind. I need to hold an SA property ETF for the next 10 years. So that's why I'll pick it as my number 2 ETF to invest into for the next 10 years. The last one, number 3, I'm going back to the I'm going back to Satrix. I am going the Satrix Financial 15 ETF. Very well structured ETF. It has a lot of the banking, investment, and life insurance companies in the country grouped into one. Give me exposure to certain markets. I always want to be in the South African financial market when it comes to those companies, but they always perform conservatively. And you're investing for 10 years. I want to be conservative. I don't want to be risky. I don't want to be gambling there, be aggressive. I would love to be moderate, and I would love to have the Satrix Financial 15 ETF. Guys, if you look at the list I have provided you, there's one common trend within all of what I've just said now, and the list I just provided. I am thinking conservative, guys. This question was like, if I had to invest for 10 years with only 3 companies or 3 ETF, which one I will pick? For me, my mind just says stay conservative. Don't try to be an aggressive investor. Don't try to be a moderate investor. Be a conservative investor, because you know what can happen in the next 10 years. And I think the list of companies, individual companies, as well as ETF I have picked in this list or in this episode fit that description for me beautiful. So guys, let me know in the comment section of this episode, what do you think about my list? Is it a win or is it a loss? Is it a good one or is it a bad one? Let me know, and also give me your top 3 list of individual companies in JSE that you can invest into for 3 years straight without investing into any other one, or ETFs as well. Until next time, guys, do ensure to hit the like button, subscribe, as always, leave me a comment. Until next time, happy investing.